Alex Superman Stone, James Big Smooth,
Baco,
and the Oso
Cologne.
Good weekend of boxing. How was your weekend otherwise?
My weekends are usually just very relaxing.
A lot of cheating on that.
Sometimes, Saturday's my cheat day. Go a little crazy. I might have had 3 or 4 bags of Airheads. I fucked up. I definitely fucked up.
All right, wait, so hold on. Can we just talk about
how hungry I am? Never mind.
Oso's trying to make 190 really hard. Sheesh. All 5'4" of them. But James's cheat days are like up there with The Rock. They're pretty legendary. And when James says he ate how many bags of Airheads, he didn't just eat the Airheads that you're thinking of. James, tell us about your Airhead saga.
Okay, so these Airheads, they're crack. That's what they are, because I just can't get enough of them. That's it. They're not the regular Airheads. They're sour Airheads with some sour, magical filling in it, which is definitely crack induced for sure.
Are they chewy?
Chewy as shit.
Chewy and like this marshmallowy shit inside of it. I don't know.
No, it looks marshmallowy, but it's sour from the Skittle Sours of God. It's amazing.
This motherfucker dragged me around to 5 different stores in a town that he had no idea where he was. He was in my town, looking for a specific bag of fucking Airheads. I got so mad.
The 4th one, you were fed up.
I told Melanie, I was like, hey, we're running down to the gas station to get some Airheads for James.
45 minutes
later. Like an hour and a half later, she said, where the fuck are you? I'm like, you're going to have to explain to my wife where we were and why going to get Airheads took an hour and a half, because she's not going to fucking believe it. She's going to think that we were fucking blowing barrels of coke off strippers' asses or something like that.
That's a fun time.
Yeah.
Hangover 4.
Part 4.
Not to say that my...
Starring Stone. Co-starring Smooth.
Never starring Oso.
No.
Oso's had like 3 beers in his whole life. He's the good boy of the crowd.
Oh.
What about you, man? What's going on with you? Your weekend?
The past weekend was good. Watched boxing, obviously. Watched some basketball. Happy to see Ja Morant back. Pretty easy. A little tired today, but pretty easy.
A little tired, yeah. No, Oso's Dragon Day. We're going to try to make this episode a little quicker. I'm going to run through it. But, it was... I don't know. It wasn't the busiest boxing weekend.
No.
But it was kind of interesting. There were some good fights on it.
Yeah.
So, anything... What did you guys like?
The Robeson Ramirez one, I love that one.
Hell yeah.
I love him, man.
First
I think he's gonna be top dog for 126
and above, because he's tall. He's tall, lanky for that weight at 126. Even at 5'5".
And he just has so much fun in there. You can see when he gets going, he's talking shit. He has a lot of fun.
What bugs me out still is we're talking about grown men that make 126.
That's crazy, right? I was 126 in probably 3rd grade.
My son is just turned 10. He's 126. Amari.
Grown ass man, right? Crazy.
So, just about, you know what I mean?
Amar's a little stump, man.
but I get it. But in saying that, his pedigree for being in the Olympics, I actually heard a crazy story about Ramirez, which was just absolutely ridiculous. After he won the Olympics, he did what most Olympians do, is get the tattoo in the inside of his arm.
Right.
So he went out and got that done. Maybe 3 weeks later, he received a knock on the door. The knock on the door was the police. The police were issuing him a citation and a date to go to the hospital to have the tattoo removed, because the government didn't say he can get the tattoo. And I was just like, what? So that's why you don't see the tattoo on him anymore.
Damn.
So
some food for thought.
That's incredible.
A lot of people think that
this is Cuba, by the way, where
right.
this happened. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people think that we don't have it that good here, and it's good. You have the freedom to do almost anything you want in this place, like make a boxing show.
Yes.
Larry, Curly, and Mo boxing. So the Dalbe fight, it was like a competitive shutout. He lost every round, but he lost it by a little bit. He was there the whole time.
I felt bad for him in the beginning while the fight was happening, just because his story. And he was coming back, and the story that they pitched after his 4 wins, after his devastating losses to, what's that guy's name that he lost to twice?
Are you talking Dalbe?
Yeah, Dalbe.
He lost to Navarrete.
Navarrete twice, back to back. Lost every round, 24 rounds. Won 4 fights, and then he got a chance to fight. Ramirez. But after he lost the fight in his post-fight interview, I didn't give a shit about his loss because he was like, "Oh, I won. That's bullshit," and he was so delusional, and he tried to throw on this swagger and bravado when he knew he lost that fight. You know what I mean? So,
all right. I'm going into real quick. I'm going to bring the fans along with us too. We're going to show them this. That's not, we're going to work it into the video because my wife knows how to do that apparently. First off, I just want to say something. Fuck you, BoxRec. All right. You want me to put a virus on my computer? Like they want you to not support the ad. They want you to take down the ad blocker on BoxRec, which is the encyclopedia of boxing. And if you take off the ad blocker, it puts AIDS on your computer. It gives your computer HIV for a computer, so CIV. Okay? And then it's funny because it says support free content, and they put this whole thing on, and they put a link there that says continue without supporting us. I click that fucking link every single time, and I'm going to continue to do so.
Wait, is BoxRec virus prone? Like, it does viruses a lot? Because when I look up BoxRec records at my job, it says, there's a pop-up sometimes, and it says, there's a virus.
That's
your
what he's
computer's
talking about,
hacked.
Yeah, that's one of the ads that they allow people to run on there because it's a scam. So that's why I'm a little adamant about that. Not happy with that. So yeah, it was never at the back-to-back. One by decision, then the TKO in the 12th round.
yeah, just a beating that he took, and he thought he was done. So at that point, he reached out to the headbangers out of DC, which is part of Tank's camp.
Right.
They took him on, and yeah, he's been winning fights, and then he got this fight. So he has a good story behind him. He represents his country and big things, but I think it was a poor showing on his the interview he had. After that, I was like, forget it. Who cares if he lost? You know.
Yeah.
So.
Funny though, even before the Robesi fight, he had a really, it was a hotly contested, and I remember watching it because it was last year, decision win over Joet Gonzalez, which I didn't think he won that fight. I thought Gonzalez won the fight.
That fight, yeah.
And speaking of which, we're going to talk about Joet Gonzalez had a monster fight against Enrique Vivas on the undercard of that. And I think he's now probably on line to fight Robesi. Seems they're both top-ranked fighters. Makes sense that they like to keep it in-house if they can.
Fulton. Fight this. What's his name again?
Fulton versus Robesi?
Robesi versus Fulton. Get it done.
Wow. There's so many options. There's Inoue up in that weight too.
What do they call him? The Monster?
Yeah. And then let's not forget Gary Russell's still lurking around that weight class as well.
I like Gary.
What do you think of that as a heavyweight? The Monster Inoue at 122. Does that scare you?
Yeah, I would never go to Japan or wherever he's from if he was a heavyweight. That guy's scary as fuck.
No, does he scare you at 122?
Oh,
yeah.
If he was 135, I wouldn't get in the ring. 122, I'd be like, all right, maybe I can take a shot.
I feel like he hit you in the liver. You're
yeah,
going,
right?
Yeah, that liver shot of his is vicious. Oh no, scary little motherfucker, for sure. So do you guys think Dogbay's done as a top 10 in any of these weight classes? I mean, in the lower weight classes, there's such a small gap in between class that he could jump around if he wants.
Did you see his body at 126?
Look good. But it
doesn't even make sense. He's huge. He looks so big, so shredded.
It looked like he was hurting.
Yeah, he looked great. I still think he's top 10 just because, his heart, and he does have a lot of skill. It's just he doesn't have that punch to change the fight.
No, and he never did.
He's trying to, but he doesn't have that punch to change the fight.
Oh, he's got a decent amount of knockouts on his resume, but he's more of a accumulation knockout punch guy,
And I think after the Navarrete fight, I think he's different. He's not the same.
He fought at the Hard Rock. I thought it was the Hard Rock in South Florida. I was like, fuck, we should have went to that.
Yeah, there are many Hard Rocks. You will learn that as you go through life, yes.
Yeah.
I think that now that I'm pulling up the rankings in the weight class, but BoxRec has him outside of the top 10. I don't know if I'd put him below Kiko Martinez. Kiko's 37 years old and is, just lost his title that he kept for less than a fight. You got Magsayo there.
Dogbay versus Wood.
Dogbay versus Lee Wood?
Yes.
Lee Wood is signing on to fight a rematch actually against Mauricio Lara.
The guy knocked him out?
Yeah, because let's be real. I mean, you saw that fight against Lara and Wood?
Yeah.
Kind of one shot.
Wood was whooping his ass the entire fight until the end of the night. I would say lucky. I mean, Mauricio Lara's 26-2. There's not luck there. He's a great fighter. But he was getting his ass kicked until he landed that punch.
It always seems like luck when it's the comeback punch.
Bro, Robeson Ramirez versus Ray Vargas would be good too.
Of course it would.
Fuck.
Magsayo's a good fight against these guys
Vargas just
too.
won his fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it against
I don't know.
not my gosh.
The guy was 4-0. I think.
4-0. Click on Ray Vargas real quick. Let's see Ray Vargas.
Ray Vargas just lost his last fight.
Oh no,
Shockey
not this
Foster.
Vargas.
Oh, he beat Mark Masada.
Not this Vargas. Yeah. Then lost his last fight.
And let's be, I'd say that damn, it's tough to pick a kingpin in that division right now. Figueroa is one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's up there too. That's a stacked weight division.
That
so
is actually.
I have to say, now that I'm looking at these guys, now that I'm looking at the roster of people at 126, I don't know that I could say that Dog Bay is still a top 10 guy.
You don't think he's 10?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe he's 11 or 12 though. I mean, but
Yeah.
he's there.
Close, yeah.
But I don't think that's an indictment of Dog Bay. I think
Just how heavy
that
the class is.
right,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool because every weight class in the lower classes seem to be stacked now. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know if anything's better than 135 at this moment.
Right?
135, 140, 147.
175 is kind of fun right now too,
Yeah.
and 168.
That's a real name for Better Beef.
I
The
know,
monster.
You know what's funny? If you go through every weight class right now, you go through 154. You got Janabek there. You got Charlo. You got Zoo.
No, I like Zoo.
And then you go to 160 and all the options. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but there's
Charlo.
just like for those who think boxing's dead, man. There's stacked weight classes almost everywhere right now.
The fight's gotta happen.
This is not for now, but just think about this for the end of this. Where does Cato Plant go?
Retirement.
He can't make 160. I don't think. It looks like he's pretty stripped. What's he gonna do 175?
Yeah.
Other
He's
than
got to stay where he's at.
Yeah.
He's got it down to a science, but what's next for him there?
But all right, so let's be real. I don't think that. And now that we're on that subject, I don't think that David Benavidez sticks around 168 much
No,
longer.
I don't think
He's
so.
too
either.
big.
If he can't get the fight with Canelo, I think he's gone to 175.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Sue fights at what? 160?
Zoo 154.
154.
Him versus Charlo is next.
Okay. Or him versus Triple G?
Who? Zoo?
Yeah.
Not yet. Zoo's got him
That'd
in
be nice.
154 on this.
Where? Triple G? Come on, buddy. Where are you?
Triple G, I told you, man. Triple G's gonna fight Sergio Martinez. Gonna fight for the
Legacy.
old man 168-pound title,
Man.
the silver title.
The silver.
Oh, man.
Silver Fox title.
The Silver Fox title. Yes, that's what we're gonna go with. So I guess is this the last time we see Dog Bay though? Back to the fight we're talking about. Is the last time we see him in a world title fight? You think?
I don't think so because he only has 3 losses.
Chisora got a fucking title fight. Look at him. Right?
Sure, got a charity handout from his
Yeah.
buddy.
So
But that
maybe
was-
Dog Bay has a buddy in the weight class. Yo, you want to talk
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Tyson Fury in a little bit.
Yep.
Scumbag.
I think you see him. I think you see him again.
Yeah, for sure. Because he's like a perfect, I don't want to say perfect opponent, right?
Right.
For a world title fight because he's durable, he can fight, and he looks the part. For sure.
Well, Alex said it earlier. He's like, is he a gatekeeper? And I think one more loss he will be.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
I
yeah.
don't know, man. I don't know if
3
you got a
losses.
gatekeeper from
3.
competitive losses though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pull the wins out.
When was
It doesn't
Gabe
matter.
Rosado a certified gatekeeper? With how many losses would you say?
15 losses ago.
7, 6 losses. When
What's
he
he got
got
now?
6,
But see, Gabe was a different.
I
was,
think he
was
has
a
48
special,
losses.
He was a special case there though, because even throughout his first 10, however many losses, there was a lot of losses that should have been wins there. He got fucked a lot.
So let's say it's 10 and 50% he should have won.
Yeah.
He still has 5 losses.
Okay.
You know?
Looking
So
for
he's been losing
Robert.
fights.
What did Robert Duran have? He had like 6 losses, right?
70 wins. I don't know.
I mean, listen, there's no. But here's the thing about Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado will fight anybody. He can duck nobody, and that's why.
And I think that he's made a career out of himself, and he fights well enough to keep getting fights. But at the end of the day,
I mean, he's also an announcer for DAZN, so he has a platform where if
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn needs someone, to get in there as a gatekeeper test for Munguia or for Zerto or for all the guys he's already fought.
Munguia.
He already fought Munguia. He already fought Munguia.
Did he?
Yeah, he got served up to him. Munguia beat his ass. But Gabe kept it interesting for a few rounds. He always does.
So Munguia did fight someone kind of then.
So he's
he didn't
got-
fight total tomato cans then.
He is 44. Oh no, I'm sorry. He is 26 and 16. Gabe Rosado.
stop. Stop. Please stop.
All right. Well, Gabe, we love you. Thanks.
Great
Thanks
dude.
for entertaining us all
Like
the
to
time.
see you in Creed.
Yeah. 100%, man. And you're good at scoring fights, and you're great at announcing on the zone. So I don't know if we'll see Dog Bay in a world title fight, but I know who we're going to see in a world title fight soon. Joette Gonzalez, who was on the undercard of the Dog Bay fight. And
That was a war.
that was Dog Bay. This was a dog fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Enrique Vivas, like, all respect to you, 22-3. Your father's your trainer. He clearly never taught you how to move your fucking head. Also, doesn't really look like you could crack an egg, but damn, can you punch in volumes, and damn, can you take a punch, man. Damn.
I think at some point, like, on your come up, right, when you go into your sparring, and you see yourself, sparring, let's say 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and you never dropped anybody. You never hurt anybody. I think the game plan becomes what Vivas fights, the way they fight. It's in super volume. He has a great chin, super volume, and just keep chasing around and hope to win by points.
Right.
And hope that you can outwill the person. Joel Gonzalez I was so surprised by him. That was a war.
That's how he fights, though.
I know, but I thought he was, because he said I don't necessarily have to do that.
No, he likes to. He Mexican man likes it.
Yeah, but then he actually did that, so it was crazy.
And I thought the cool thing was that Vivas kept coming, but I thought that fight should have been stopped. It shouldn't have went the distance.
Yeah, he got hurt maybe 3-4 times.
So he didn't get Joey Spencer for sure, huh?
He didn't get Joey Spencer because his dad, and I think we keep talking about this over and over again, the dynamic of when your father's your trainer. And it's like, damn, did you let your kid take too much punishment there? And I don't know, there was a point where he came back I think it was after the 11th round. He came back and his whole entire face was swollen. You could see his jaw was clearly broken.
His jaw and his nose. Yeah.
And instead of putting ice on his face, what the cut man did, and I don't think they were questioning it on ESPN, why aren't they putting ice on his face? And I think they missed a very clear, the cut man put a towel over his head so the doctor couldn't see how swollen his face was.
Sure.
So he could go back out there and absorb more punishment.
So I think that the thin lining in that is that, hey, let's make it through the fight because you'll get another fight.
Will you, though? About what cost, though? That's your son.
Right. And
they're scoring 98, 92, 99, 91.
Yeah, but it's not the same as, hey, saying, oh, I never quit. I've never been TKO'd. I've never been knocked out.
Yeah, but your father stopped the fight. Yeah. It's different. It's not,
Yeah,
that's actually
I understand, but that's how it goes. How many times have you heard a fighter say, oh, he's never been stopped, but I will stop him. I'm the first one. Right? There's something that goes with that. So there's some marketing that goes into that. Unfortunately for me, as a father, I wouldn't be thinking of the next fight. I'd be thinking of the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Saving my son, you know what I mean?
All right, but let's just say even if it's not your son, though, also, take the fatherhood thing out of it. Let's just say it's a fighter then.
Yeah.
Which, after the 7th or 8th round, he's not winning the fight. He can't hurt Gonzalez. Why has no one stopped that fight? The ref, the doctor, there just wasn't a need for it to go on.
I agree. I think that you should be able to look at the fighter, look at his eyes, know your fighter enough to say, hey, we're done here today. Let's live to fight another day.
What do you think?
Especially when it's a dad, how do you not stop that? The 6th, I don't know.
Well, because, maybe you feel like you know your son, maybe...
The only thing I could think of is the father was hoping for a perfect shot. That's the only thing he was like, okay, maybe it could happen. I don't know.
I think sometimes fathers live vicariously through their kids, too. And it's like, damn, well, if I was in there, I'd be the warrior. Or it's like this, you play this Rocky movie in your fucking head. And that's not what it is. It's your son there that's taking punches.
That was the very first thing when I started to train my sons. And I said to them, people would ask all the time, what exactly are we, how am I going to take it, or how do I feel about their dream? And I was like, it's just their dream.
Right.
I'm not living through them, and I'm not winning these fights. Myself. They're winning their own fights and living in the moment. I'm part of their moment. And I wanted to make sure that it was a separation, that I wasn't living vicariously through them, that I wasn't forcing them to do things that I would do and they're not capable of, or vice versa. So, when you do that, it's difficult. I would never quit, so he won't ever quit. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
He's hurt. Save him. You know what I mean? So, Joey Spencer.
Joey Spencer, yeah. That was great stoppage.
Great stoppage.
Great stoppage.
And he cried. His dad cried on him real quick. You know, he
Yeah.
grabbed him and said, "I'm sorry." You know, but
Yeah,
I have to.
Yeah, he was, but that was obvious. He was almost 1 or 2 weight classes above where he should have been, like against a much bigger man. It was,
That's the thing. He always fought at 154, but how he looked is not how he looked before.
you talking about Joey Spencer?
Yeah.
From what I heard from the announcers, and maybe I can go into looking too. I guess let's look it up real quick.
To me, he's always been 154.
So let's check out
Yeah,
Joey
Oh
Spencer.
no, that guy was Ramos was tall as shit.
big. But I think his whole career is 154.
Yep, we're going to continue without supporting you. Oh yeah, wow, his whole career's been at 154. You are correct.
Yeah.
No, so it was normal for him. Like,
But how he looked physically is not how he's looked before.
You know, it's funny. It's Ramos who actually recently made the move up from. Motherfucker was 147 at one point.
Crazy.
Jesus.
in the 7th round, did they stop it for Joey Spencer?
It was the 7th round. Yeah.
Who looked worse, Vivas or Spencer in the 7th?
I don't know who looked worse. I think Vivas was making it a closer fight because he threw more punches. I've never seen somebody throw that many punches before.
Well, they threw a combined 1,500 if I'm
The
not
chin-
mistaken.
Yeah, but he threw like 900 of them.
Who?
Vivas.
Yeah?
The chin on that boy is what got him through the rounds.
Here's the thing: is that he was throwing twice as many punches as Gonzalez, which is saying a lot because Gonzalez was throwing a lot of punches.
Gonzalez, when he would connect,
But when he
hit
was
him
hitting-
so
yeah.
hard, bro.
Did you see the undercard or no? You only saw the dog bay.
No, I saw the Vivas.
Yeah, so I mean, you saw where it was at 7. At 7, it was competitive still, but it was competitive and very clear. One guy couldn't crack an egg, and the other guy was hitting very, very hard. I was waiting at any second. There were many times that Gonzalez connected with Vivas's chin, and I was like, "What is the chin made out of? Like, how is he not gone down yet?"
Yeah, it was some brutal shots in there,
Sometimes I guess too good of a chin for your own good.
for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Balls on balls. I think before we get into the big fight of the weekend, the 2 big fights of the weekend that we want to really discuss, though the bigger ones, I want to take a break real quick. I want to discuss something fun I found on BoxRec while I was looking up stuff for the show. So this weekend in Estonia, which by the way, I don't know if you know, I knew that was coming and I Googled it because I didn't really know either. Look here, look what the Google search is.
Is it near?
So it's over in that part of the world. It borders Russia, and then it also borders across the Baltic Sea from Finland, right there, and Latvia. Latvia, Russia, and Finland are its neighbors. So that area of the world. All right. So in Estonia, there was a fight card that took place over the weekend, and in the main event, Dmitry Kalinovsky.
Top dog in Estonia, by the way.
Yeah, top dog.
Top dog
Won a unanimous decision over, I'm going to fuck this guy's name up right now. Remigius Ziausis, sorry.
Remy Gilgis Ziosius.
That sounds better.
Is that from your
Greek.
Viking ancestors?
I may or may not have been Estonian.
But the most important part of this, ladies and gentlemen, are the records. Alex, please let these people know what the records were.
So, Kalinovsky came in with a record of 13 wins, 70 losses, and 4 draws. And from what I could tell on BoxRec, he was the A side.
And if that's not bad enough, please go. What's the next record?
And he won a unanimous decision over Ziausis, whose record, sorry, I'm going to fuck that name up again. Oh, Mr. Z, whose record is 20 wins, 111 losses, and 5 draws. So as I mentioned, this was a unanimous decision, but I don't think anybody gives a fuck what the score
Rosado is a
was.
star in Estonia. He is unbeatable in Estonia.
Top dog.
Move there.
Top dog.
Get it right.
I mean, all right, so I get it. Like this, you could tell it was a local card, all 4 and 6 round fights. But these guys were the main event. Who the fuck is coming to pay to see these people?
Are they paying people to come watch?
I don't know.
Bartering. They're coming with corn and rocks and.
I got plenty to pay for the front row.
The farmer shows up. He's like, I have no money. You take my daughter. What do you fight?
It's a farmer's market.
I don't know. So listen, this was actually in the cruiserweight division.
They said they fought in the cave and there was no ring.
They did. It was just rocks that they put around. It was like the end of Bloodsport.
Oh my
They
God.
wrapped their hands in resin and dipped them in glass. beat the shit out of each other for 6 rounds.
Is that where Tom Poe was?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Poe was there.
Yeah. He was the host. And Miley. She bleed good.
Oh my God.
So, I think that, basically, I don't know if you saw Lawrence Okolie's last fight.
Winner gets who?
That's what I'm saying. I think the winner gets Lawrence Okolie. They're pretty much in line with his most recent opponents. Lawrence Okolie.
Was it more entertaining?
That's so disrespectful. This guy's so disrespectful.
Lawrence Okolie. Fight somebody who fucking matters.
He's gonna be at your job in the next week or so.
Good. It means we're doing our job. Come on to Uppercut City. Show you the way.
Oh, shit.
Move up to bridgerweight or heavyweight or fight someone that matters. Fight one of the other champions in the cruiserweight division. Badu Jack kicks your ass. Sorry. Alright. AJ fight. Smooth, you still got a beard on.
Because we bet if AJ knocked out Franklin. And I went back, double checked, triple checked the video, and that was facts. You know I would have shaved it.
You're right.
You would know what we're talking about, but I wasn't able to get the video from our last episode until yesterday.
But you'll know.
Might have been my fault. I'm working on these tech issues, okay? I'm learning about computers and all this shit.
We all are. My wife's behind us. She's trying to help us too. We're all trying to figure this out and promise it'll get better as it goes. All right.
So our pilot is like the first 15 episodes.
Yes.
Just a caution to the So, we'll get it right.
So, we have predictions about this fight. James, you predicted a knockout.
You predicted AJ would get knocked out by Franklin.
By Franklin, who honestly, Franklin gave it a great effort, and if he could hit harder, he probably would have knocked him out. You said that you thought Joshua was going to destroy him, tear through him, knock him out.
No, I said it would be a good fight until he knocked him out.
And I said that Joshua was going to win a very disappointing decision.
You called it.
And I was accused of hating on Joshua.
No, didn't you say it was going to be a robbery decision?
I said I either thought that he was going to get a decision he didn't deserve or it was going to be very ugly.
Okay, and
Franklin is a roofer, by the way.
Franklin what?
He's a roofer.
That's his day job?
Yes, he's
Seriously.
a roofer.
He's a pretty damn good boxer, too.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
give him respect for that. Wow.
People
Full-time job and he's like
at
that?
his size, he's not 6'2". He's a little bit.
He's like 6 flat.
6'1", maybe.
They list him at 6'2", but I would say he's a little bit
6.
shorter.
Yeah, it's like listing Allen Iverson at 6'3".
Yeah, to deal with
5'10".
Anthony Joshua, and the way he did, and not really he took a couple shots, but he did very well, and I think somebody his size. You're gonna think I'm crazy, but he could give Usyk a fight.
He could give Usyk a fight.
Yeah,
He could give Andy Ruiz a fight, too.
yeah, he can.
What
keeps Joshua outside of these B- fighters, B fighters, is his sheer size.
Yeah. But is he...
You mean he gets through them because of his size?
Yes.
All right, well, let's turn it over to our heavyweight right now, man. Like, what did you think of that fight? What was your opinion? You're the same weight as these guys.
Joshua did look goddamn bigger. Way bigger, right?
I think it was just because he was next to Franklin. He was only 5 pounds bigger.
Yeah.
He's
No, I thought it was 15 pounds bigger.
No, he weighed
255.
255, where he usually weighs around
Franklin-
246, 248.
Oh, I thought you meant from Franklin.
Franklin
to Joshua.
actually weighed in 20 pounds lighter
He's
for
usually
this fight against
pretty- yeah.
which I was surprised that was the strategy.
I think he was trying cardio, try to be quicker, get past the jab. Because, once the long jab starts hitting you, every time you think you got a game plan, you got to reset. So I think that was a big thing.
I think you could also go back to what you mentioned. He's a roofer, so I'm sure that in between the Dillian White fight, because I'll be real, I think he beat Dillian White. I think he outboxed him. I think he got fucked, and I think he got Eddie Hearn turned it into a positive for him, got in this fight against Joshua, and I think maybe he was just training a lot harder, so the pounds melted off. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think he maybe had more time to train. He made a little bit of money. Didn't have to be doing the roofing all the time.
I think this was the first fight where he didn't have to run the business, and he got a chance to be a boxer. So he was excited about that. And I think that for him, is a testament to his hard work, and I think he deserves another shot at someone.
100%.
Andy Ruiz.
Bridgerweight?
Good stuff.
I mean, he was waiting around low 230s, so what? He loses 7 more pounds?
If you looked at him closely, there was a lot of loose weight on him.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know what that is.
Cruiserweight?
Yeah, I mean it just depends. I mean if he could really get that small, it looks like he's been big his
He
whole
could
life.
get to 225. It looks
He's been
like.
very very heavy his whole life.
Yeah.
So
well, that's usually what the loose weight looks like, right?
Yeah.
When you get back into good shape.
yeah. So
Joshua looked timid though, for sure.
Which I guess
He looked like he's just not. He looked in the fight just not interested. Like there'd be times when they'd be close up and he'd be just like looking out the ring. and just not looking like he's supposed to be in there. It's weird.
He's got this affect about him that I think is maybe why I'm not a believer. It's like I've seen him. I see the look on his face when things don't go his way, and it's like he resigns too quickly that it's going to snowball.
Where is the boss in Anthony Joshua? Where is the person that walks you down, gets you into the corner, and stays there until he hurts you?
Not there.
You need that. You're 6'6", 255 pounds, shredded. I mean, ideal. If a man could pick his size and weight, that would be it. You know what I mean? It's ideal.
But that's not the be all end all of boxing.
Right. And you just don't use any of it. The only thing he uses is his jab.
Good jab, pretty good jab, yeah.
Pretty good jab.
But there was times where he could have just roughed him up. He did throw. Not a lot, but some good body shots that I didn't see before.
Look how much meaner the lower weight classes are.
What?
Look how much meaner Errol Spence is.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Look at fucking Robsy Ramirez, just angry little man.
Yeah.
He hits you with one good shot, and he's like talking shit to you right after.
Yeah. Tank Davis.
Oh, that's what it is. When you're smaller, like I'm big, I'm 6'2", you know? I feel like us guys, when we're this tall, it's like, we don't want to be that. You know, sometimes you just want to like not be, what's that?
The aggressor?
Not that, you're just like, they could see it from afar, you know what I mean? You want to blend in a little bit sometimes, I guess, you know what I mean?
I think sometimes it's in your makeup, it's who you are. And I think that if you've never had to dig that far deep, to get yourself out of a bad situation, then it might be hard for you to trigger that.
Maybe he doesn't trust himself to get him out of a bad situation. I mean, I think, Anthony, I'm going to give my honest assessment of his career trajectory. I think that the guy you're talking about who bulldozes and bullies people does that against people he knows are zero threat to him. I think that he got his chin uniquely checked against a very out of shape Andy Ruiz, and he's never really recovered mentally from it since. In addition to seeing that on his face and seeing it in the way he's been approaching his fights recently, like the fights against Usyk were tough too because Usyk beat his ass twice. Like the first time was like shocking. Everybody was like, damn, I didn't think that was going to happen. And the second time was the shocking thing was that one judge scored it for Joshua in the second fight. I don't think he trusts himself, and I think the reason you didn't see him bulldoze Jermaine Franklin was that he was getting caught a lot on the way in. And I don't think Jermaine Franklin still has 14 knockouts in 21 fights. So I think,
in a total.
Like I said, I think he was hesitant, and also he's been switching trainers a decent amount lately.
You know what I want to see? I want to see Joshua's sparring. What kind of sparring is he? He
was just in camp with Errol Spence. Like, what the fuck more? Like,
I agree with everything you're saying, but at some point, as a man, you just say, fuck it, let me get rid of this dude.
I think he has it in him. He's too polite.
Let me get rid of this dude now.
How do you have that many knockouts and that many fights with an undefeated record with not having the dog in you? How? Can you answer that seriously? Seriously.
That's literally the one thing that separates.
How?
It's an anomaly.
Was it all B-side fighters?
No, it's the mentality, and I got to tell you, the mentality that separates. It's the mentality that makes the difference between Lennox Lewis and Anthony Joshua. Lennox Lewis has had his chin checked. Lennox Lewis has changed trainers. Lennox Lewis went through all the same adversity against some lesser opposition, Oliver McCall, Hasim Rothman, than Anthony Joshua, and it's the mentality that made the difference. Maybe it was Emmanuel Stewart, I don't know, but...
Well, when you could change one thing, you could change everything. And the one thing you can change that changes everything is your mindset, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, he looked super timid. I think I texted you and I think it looked like it was his first fight. Like it was his first big fight ever.
Yeah.
No chances were taken.
There was like some hooks he was throwing, like left hooks where... I don't know what to tell you. It just looked kind of amateur.
Well, you were talking about, too, the body shots that Joshua was landing. Let's be real. Joshua didn't land a good body shot on Franklin until almost the end of the fight.
That's what I'm saying. It was like later than the 6th round.
And it was one of the announcers.
You got to do the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Kill the body.
But that he wasn't going there. And I think for one of the announcers said it when he hit him with that body shot. He was like, oh, well, he hasn't been able to crack him to the head. Might as well go to the body. And I was like, damn, you should have did that a while ago because he hurt him with that body shot.
Like you're 255. You could hurt motherfuckers in the body all day.
Almost all of your fights are knockouts. You can hurt anybody.
Did that Ruiz fight really fuck him up that bad?
Looks like it.
It can. It really can. And
But
honestly,
he got his get back.
I mean, yeah.
Remember he got his get back?
Yeah, but I think the biggest
Did
thing.
you see the way Ruiz showed up?
He was
to
like
get
300.
back?
He was like 310.
I think the
Fucking
biggest thing
get
was that
back.
you probably seen Ruiz and took it for what it was worth and looked at him right and said, "Oh, there's no way this short, out of shape guy can beat me." And then the fact that he was schooled, dropped, hurt, not just dropped because this was the first time he was actually hurt. He got knocked down by Klitschko, but he wasn't hurt. He was kind of like, "Whoa,
He didn't have his legs out.
what happened?" You know, I'm tired, right?
No.
And he came back and dug deep and got rid of Klitschko.
Okay. So,
But he was outskilled by this chubby, out of shape guy and beat. And
So
changed everything.
pride just fucked him up, right?
Vladimir Klitschko, I've said this a couple times and we chatted about it, and that's another thing in the assessment of Anthony Joshua. People love to bring up the Klitschko fight, and Klitschko was at the end of the
Wasn't he 10
road. He
years
was at
past
the end of
his
the
prime?
road. He had already gotten schooled by Tyson Fury. Klitschko had been champion from 2004
was a
until
boring fight, by the way.
2017.
Klitschko and Fury was a terrible fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you expected. It would have been like if Nikolai Valuev would have gotten in there with him. It would have just been the most boring shit in the world. So I think that people put a lot of stake into the Klitschko fight. Whereas if I don't know if that Klitschko fight happened in 2010, maybe we'd be talking a totally different outcome.
But it's what happened in the fight. Take the person away, take the time frame out, and look at the fact that he was rocked and dropped in front of 60,000 people, however many people were there. His first major test, and he was able to get up, show fortitude, push forward, and got the win, regardless of who it was. He showed that he can do it. So at that point, we're sold.
And then
Joshua's real.
The point that you're making too is that out of all the guys that have hurt him, Usyk hurt him a couple times, and let's be real about that. Usyk can punch at 230 pounds.
Yeah.
He can. So
Yeah.
that's why he's never out against any heavyweight, and he's more skilled than almost all of them.
And he's a southpaw, which makes it even worse.
He was able to get up off of Klitschko. And let's be real, the last thing that goes on a fighter is the power. So if he was able to take the shots from Klitschko and get back up, I don't, like I said, he's in his own head maybe, maybe didn't have enough of a rough upbringing. I don't know.
No, he got all his. If you look at all his knockouts were because he had that bravado. He knew before he got into the fight that he was going to win. He felt like, I'm Anthony Joshua. I'm here to win. Eddie Hearn behind him, the whole London behind him, all his camp. He just felt like he was the superhero, super build, the model type, whatever they want. And that all changed. And didn't change once. It changed again. When he thought he was back, Usyk put him in his place.
Heavily.
Every time he thinks he's back, he gets put in his place.
By
Now
the top
now you're thinking like, whoa, and only he knows. And this to your point, Franklin clipped him at one point with a little shot. And he kind
A
of
little bit.
yeah, and we don't know. Maybe he was hurt.
Maybe he just got scared after
He's
that
getting
one point.
it,
So, he shook me and he's landing good combinations.
Right. And what's the difference? He was in a major fight with an enormous human being, got clipped, and his mentality was, oh, I'm about to get him back. Not, I'm scared. Wait a minute, let me work the jab, stay out of the range.
So also with your backgrounds and your expertise here, one thing we've seen with Joshua is no matter what, we're always looking for that dog, for that guy that can go and bowl you over and maul you over. But what we've seen is the difference between what happened with Klitschko and what happened with Ruiz was those were times where he got his chin checked and got up. Usyk hurt him, but also exposed the fact that you could box Anthony Joshua's head off. So let's be real too. When you're getting your head boxed off by guys who they may be smaller than you, but they're still 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds. Almost like the Sugar Ray Leonard effect. Like
Sure.
you're gonna get knocked out after 10 rounds of getting your head fucking hit by some of these guys.
Yeah.
I think that weighs on him too now. I think that it almost looked like Anthony Joshua was trying to not mess up a fight with Tyson Fury.
100%.
Yeah.
This is the most cautious you've ever seen. And let me ask you something. You've been in fights. Have you ever seen any breakup in a fight that was more cordial? Holding, stop. Okay, stop, guys. And they just push each other off. Stop. Punch
Like
each other
friends.
off. Yeah, like
Yeah.
friends. Okay, yeah.
Like a sparring partner.
Here, bud. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they break
Franklin
that
started to
fight,
get mean. Franklin started to get mean. You got tired of getting held, right? But that's what you get. You hold some of these lightweights and you turn your face, you're getting clipped. Like, where is that ruggedness? go get him.
Franklin had that dog in him the whole fight. Franklin tried to fight him after the fight for giving him a little tap on the head.
Yeah, right.
Which I thought was like, I saw from Joshua, I saw the clear, like, oh, good job type
Yeah,
of
that's
tap.
so
You don't, like, after the fight, you can get, why are you doing that? Tap him right here.
Yeah, like I said, I thought
He's
it
walking
was
away. I think
right.
he was looking for him and just said, "Hey."
Yeah, hey, good job. And I see, but Franklin had that, but Franklin was in that mind state that we wanted to see Joshua in. Joshua was being the pleasant British guy. Hello. It's a great fight.
Yeah.
I think we go back to Smooth's point. What's the sparring look like?
Yeah, what I want to see is sparring in his camp.
Is he sparring Errol Spence?
Maybe.
Is he sparring his trainer, Derek James? Who knows?
Like, what is happening?
Is he not sparring?
Maybe he's too afraid to get hit. I don't know. We can't say what goes on.
Him with the sledgehammer.
Is he
on the
sparring
tire.
the Sonya fucking champ? Like, what's going on?
I don't know, man, but they show the same thing too. We never see sparring footage ever. It's kind of the unwritten rule. You don't see sparring footage, and when you do, it's leaked.
But there's definitely videos. They always take videos of the sparring match, right?
I mean, probably for their own
yeah.
video and footage, yeah, of course. But I mean, same thing. Like all we ever see when Canelo trains is him throwing hooks at an uppercut bag. That's it. You would think that he never worked a jab in his life.
I don't see this is the difference, right? I don't see anybody scared to fight Anthony Joshua.
Now,
Not now.
If you're a real fighter, you're not scared to fight Anthony Joshua.
No, they want him for the money now.
You're looking at it like, yeah, it's a paycheck and okay.
Well, Joshua.
I'd be more scared to fight King Kong Ortiz, who's 65 years old, because I know what he's coming for.
Yeah.
He wants to go home.
Yeah.
He wants to go home to his family. He wants to get the fight over with.
I think that we're gonna see. I think we might see Luis Ortiz versus Anthony Joshua soon. But I think the next project. Here's the thing: he's still a draw in England,
course, yeah.
and he's still a draw because he's got DAZN and Eddie Hearn on his
At the
side.
end of the day, he won. So
Yeah.
we're going to see him again.
We're going to see him probably against Fury, and I think he's going to lose convincing. I think Fury might stop him late or just completely school him, and then I hope he gets served up for a retirement party to Deontay Wilder.
If he loses
after that?
If he loses to Fury, he's not fighting Deontay Wilder.
Oh no, he'll hang it up.
He's not fighting Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, why would you, right?
Who would you pick?
Deontay Wilder or Joshua?
Yeah.
What the? Does a bear shit in the woods? Wilder, bro.
I'm picking the 219-pound, 6'7" Wilder.
Yeah.
I'll take Wilder after a meth binge of a month with no sleeping.
If he shows up at 219 like he fought Ortiz, you heard, and beats him, I think he might have been 217.
How can he weigh 217 at 6'17"?
No, he's weighed 212. He's weighed even lighter than that. Hold on, I'm gonna go pull up Deontay Wilder's record.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Deontay.
I'm 239 right now, and I feel like I could add some meat on me. What the hell?
So I don't know if you saw, but man, did you guys see when they were over in Dubai? You saw when Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury kind of embraced, and they were like, "What's up?" They interviewed Deontay Wilder last week.
He just did it.
And he was like, "Fuck that piece of shit. He's a cheater. He knows why I don't like him. I was just nice there because in Dubai." He was like, "Yeah, we're on God's land."
Dubai's God's land, blah blah blah.
So I hope that they're able to squash that because I'd say, but look, he weighed 214 against Lennius, and he only bulked up to 238 and 231 for the Fury fights.
214.
212 against Tyson Fury the first time. That's why he bulked up into the 30s.
Smooth.
Yeah.
212. Come on, man.
What?
212 and a half, 214, 220, 222.
6'7", 212 pounds.
That's crazy. That's like crack.
Yeah, and 200 of the pounds are in his right hand.
They ain't the legs, I'll tell you that much. There's no pounds in those legs. There's not 1 pound in that leg.
It's like a ladder.
His very first fight, was like he almost went in. I think it might have been a cruiserweight fight, but it's weighed 207
Jesus Christ.
at one point. His very, very first fight. I just seen a throwback video.
What do you weigh right now?
Me, I weigh 214. I weigh 2 pounds heavier than him at 212. Damn.
I got 10 on.
You got 10 on you?
I'm a nut shot for the win, baby. Hit the nuts. Hit the nuts.
Yeah, man, that's crazy because he's 6'7". I'm 6 foot, depending on which liquor store I walk out of.
I'm a bad couple weekends to his weight.
I don't know. So Anthony Joshua, I think that was something that I think that fight went exactly the way I thought it was going to go. Not super excited about seeing him going forward, but I know we're gonna. So we'll keep talking about you for now, guy. All right. See, I probably should. I don't think maybe the fans. This was a more important boxing match, but I think the most important match for us to talk about that happened last week was
Y'all must have forgot.
how to score a fight. How to score. Y'all must have forgot how to score a fucking
Yeah,
fight.
for real.
Okay, so listen. I've been teasing this fight. Roy's gonna break his hip. Zo's going to watch. He's not going to watch. I watched the next day on YouTube. I didn't buy the
I
fight.
watched.
I watched.
pirated it.
I was not spending $50 for the fight, and I don't have all the VPN for you to buy drugs and guns and hookers and illegal fights.
Wow.
So yeah,
Got to get with the program.
I do enjoy when we do it together and we use your computer to do it, but I don't have all the stuff that's access for that. So Anthony Pettis lost against Roy Jones, but won a majority decision, scores 78-74, 77-75. 76-76.
No, and
One judge scored it 6 rounds to 2. Like, what the fuck was he watching?
I don't want to hear shit that I'm biased or that.
Nah, he won. Roy won.
He won that.
That was a hometown fucking robbery.
Honestly, Roy should keep fighting. Roy should fight a cruiserweight. He should make a campaign. He should fight.
Also, I don't know about that.
He looks good.
He looked good.
He did.
Go against 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Go against 40-year-olds. Don't go below 40. Please.
I mean, at 200, Roy looked a little soft, but damn, Roy was landing good shots, accurate shots, flashes of his old self from 20 years ago, and like I said, it was like I wouldn't have paid for it, but I'm glad I actually sat down on YouTube and watched it because
I think at one point he done off a 5-shot combination.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh my!"
And Pettis was just.
I'm not gonna lie, I got up.
You started
Shot the same shots back. And shot him, you know what I mean? I'm so happy to see him. So
I give him credit for not cramping after that combo for sure.
yeah.
I don't know, man. And Pettis wasn't really landing shots. He threw a lot of shots, and I would say for an MMA guy in his first boxing match, looked good as a striker.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
was a striker in
Yeah.
MMA as well. That was his thing, so it would translate
it
well.
looks like he was hitting the mitts without hitting the mitts. Nobody in front of him. There wasn't anything in there that was fluid.
No, hit the gloves.
It was
everything.
just like everything was like, okay, I'm gonna throw this hook. Let me lean, hook, shoot. It wasn't anything just off rhythm. You know what I mean? But yeah, he looked
Let's see,
good.
it was all UFC fighters on the card.
But he lost.
And Masvidal was the promoter. Which, not that we would ever accuse Masvidal of doing anything sketchy or that might be, perceived not good in the eyes of the law. Upstanding citizen he is. Just assaulting people in the streets.
Yeah, but Pettis for sure lost.
Colby deserved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I only read about the other fights. I did not watch any of the other fights on the card. I watched the main event. I thought Roy looked good, and I don't know, what do you think's next for Roy?
I think you gotta get his weight on check. I think he's gotta decide, how much hard work he wants to put into his weight in training camp. And even at 54 years old, he can give some people some problems, as you've seen. So I think if he wants to, finish out the year with a fight or two, I think he's got to get his weight in check. I think that he looked too loose for me. His upper body looked good, but his midsection and size was too heavy. I think there's a good 15, 20 pounds.
Well, I was going to say, he weighed right in at 200,
Yeah.
which is 7 pounds heavier than he was when he won the heavyweight title against John Ruiz at
You
193.
can get a catch weight at 180 for something, even if it's a light heavy at 180 catch weight. It'd be nice to see him somewhere.
Oh, catchweight fight at 180.
Catch weight.
Jake Paul.
That'd be nice.
Roy Jones, Jake Paul.
At 180, but he's got to make that weight. I think he'd be different.
And he can't get hit by Jake's right hand.
Yeah.
Because that's actually, there's an X factor in that fight. Roy's chin is the X factor.
Yeah.
Or lack of, therefore.
Yeah.
I think he should buy a timeshare and spend the last of his days on the beach enjoying a pina colada pin
He's not.
every other day.
No,
That's how I always
unfortunately,
do.
there's a reason that he's fighting still. And it's not because he's got this burning desire. It's very unfortunate that Roy Jones needs to fight right now.
You think so? For sure? I don't know.
I mean, it's not far fetched to say that, to think that, but at the same, I feel like I would like to hope
Where's the picture?
that my man
Right in the center.
is okay.
The GOAT.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We salute you, Roy. Talking about, but on the other end of the fight, talking about Jake Paul, maybe Anthony Pettis versus Jake Paul.
Yeah, either or.
Is on
Right?
the right, since that seems to be his niche, fighting older MMA guys. Pettis is only 36. It's not that.
It's his perfect scenario. Jake Paul's perfect scenario.
Right.
MMA guy, almost 40.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I think Andy Pettis used to fight at what, 155 in the UFC?
Yeah, it was 155.
Yeah, 155.
I think maybe he did 145, but yeah, 155.
And he made
sure.
200?
He fought 170 once too.
I'm sorry, but
I think it was
he made
170,
200.
yeah.
And I can't say that's too far fetched because.
But he did.
140 to 198.
I was about to say, I was like, oh,
Preaching to the choir.
that's ridiculous. I was like, that's ridiculous. I was like,
No, he didn't have. He was fat.
yeah.
Did you see fat on Pettis?
No,
he was in great shape.
I was just saying, like,
He fought at 155. He definitely weighed in the fight day at like 170. So
I was just like, whoa, that's a big jump.
When they announced the fight, I was like, I watched a lot more UFC back in Pettis' day than I did now. So when they announced Roy Jones versus Anthony Pettis, I'm like, I remember Anthony Pettis being a little motherfucker. But then again, Roy Jones used to weigh 168, 175. So I mean, I guess
Roy Jones started.
everybody.
I think he had a couple fights at 154.
Yeah, he did.
He immediately went to 160.
I think he won an IBF junior middleweight title
Yeah.
at some
And
point
he
too.
Immediately started jumping. 154, 160, 168, 175, heavyweight.
Must have
5-time
forgot.
division. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did pick up a couple of secondary cruiserweight titles in like 2018,
That's right.
2017. So he's there.
there's a lot of less weight classes in UFC, so they cut a lot more weight. There's a lot, like Dustin Poirier's 155 fighter. He's almost my height.
I seen
And
him.
probably walks around
I
at
seen him
200.
here at
Yeah,
Coconut
big boy.
Yeah.
155.
10 pounds is a nice jump for a weight class, and I think the UFC does a good job with that.
They got it good. Yeah, they got it on
Because
pat.
I feel
Same
like,
thing.
but I feel like they're ruining, not ruining, but they're handicapping the heavyweights. What I mean by that
UFC?
is, yeah, the UFC. Okay, you have heavyweights and the cap is 266. Great, but you should have super heavyweights, so like Brock Lesnar could come in at 290 pounds and not be
260 and above.
yeah 260 and above,
Yeah.
266 and above.
And it's not just for the Brock Lesnar.
That makes sense, yes.
Now we're just
So
seeing much
many big
bigger
people.
humans. They're like guys who were typically their
Yeah.
only
Oh,
hope was to be a
that's
center in
yeah.
basketball. Now
I seen Hardy at the gas station.
So he's 300 pounds.
Yo, how he's driving the Charger, I don't know. I was like, yo, this dude is enormous. He's this wide. I was
there's a
like,
will,
wow.
there's a way, man.
And he's 315 pounds his last fight where he got chin checked, but was making 266.
Was
Struggling.
it a scat pack?
I'm not sure.
You ever seen Cops? You know how many people you could fit in a Dodge Charger? A lot. A lot. Like
How
a
many
whole
crowd-
cartel.
How many
It was in
crowds?
a Challenger. My bad. A Challenger.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You could fit a whole cartel in a Challenger.
So yeah,
Listen to all?
I think they should have a higher weight class. So those really big dudes, don't have to. Francis Ngannou's not 266. Francis
Imagine-
Ngannou's making his heavyweight debut. They're talking
Imagine the
They're
crazy
talking about making his
species.
heavyweight debut at 290. His
That's
walk
right,
around.
man.
That actually makes a lot of sense because we would see fighters fighting at 300 that we would never see ever.
He's saying the next fight most likely for him is a boxing match against Anthony
Yeah.
Joshua. So
That's what he wants to do. And he said, I don't have to struggle to make 266. I can come in regular weight 280, 290.
that would be insane to see Anthony Joshua being there with somebody that's just like a monster to him.
Yo,
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou,
And Ngannou sleeps him.
there's not a human being.
He fucking sleeps Anthony
Hey,
Joshua.
You think so?
Sleeps him.
There's not a human being he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, if he hits him.
If
Right?
he hits him, yeah.
Yo, I watched his highlights and I was like,
Nah.
this
Well,
kid,
Francis
this
Ngannou
motherfucker
will
is
dog walk.
terrifying. I don't curse. You heard that, but I had to curse.
He will dog walk.
He's terrifying.
We take care of
He's
him.
running backwards. He's running backwards. Gets clipped with a straight hand. He doesn't even see. He just throws his left hook, clips him, and looks back, and the guy's knocked out cold. He's sitting on the side of the fence. And then he starts hammering, and I'm like, he's dead. Stop. He's not even knocked out. Like, he died.
It was like what Jerry Cooney did to Ken Norton. Remember that? In the corner.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I said, Jesus.
Wow. Fucking bad, man.
So yeah, he's a scary dude, Francis Ngannou.
He is, and I don't
He's
know.
about to get that bag.
I watched
Rumble
him-
Johnson, rest in peace.
Oof,
Miss
yeah,
you.
man. That was sad. Really
My
sad.
favorite UFC fighter ever, Rumble
Yeah.
Johnson.
Damn, he was good.
It's a bad boy.
He had some crazy power. He knocked out Glover Teixeira in like 30 seconds, and Glover Teixeira has one of the best chins in UFC.
With a right uppercut out of
Oh
nowhere.
my god.
Just a short one. Have a great night.
I don't know, man. That's a
Rest
lot of
in
interesting
peace.
fights there. Shit. Boxing headlines. A couple things in the news to talk about. Amir Khan. I found this to be really interesting, and he had like even his own fucking response to this is great. Amir Khan has been banned from boxing and all other sports for 2 years in I believe it's just in Britain, right? Just in England for his failed drug test a year ago in
Kell
his
Brook fight.
dominating knockout loss to Kell Brook. So he
Well, it
tested.
really helped him, huh?
So and he said that too. He's like, I don't know, I got knocked out. Like, I don't know what everyone's all upset about. Like, I don't think Amir Khan was taking any sort of performance-enhancing drugs. And if he did, I hope he gets his money back.
Right?
I think whatever was in the drug, somebody slipped in ZQL.
Or estrogen or
I was gonna
something.
say, was it
Because
weed?
what he got from Canelo was just destruction. I thought it was funny. Like I joked around and I sent Nasir a text, and I'm like, "Can you imagine getting caught for steroids and not having no knockout power?"
At all. Like, at all.
Yeah, what's the point, right?
I mean, Amir Khan relied solely on boxing ability, but he also had power too, though. He did.
He
Amir
was
Khan
fast.
could check your chin.
He was fast. Yeah.
So he wasn't like he couldn't knock people out. It was just he couldn't take a punch to save his life.
Prescott started that. Oof.
Yeah, and
I
then
watched that live.
Ricky Hatton, Manny Pacquiao, they all just continued it.
Jeez.
But Kell Brook, if anything, I think it should be the other way around. I thought Kell Brook might have been on steroids in that fight. He beat the shit out of Amir Khan.
Kell Brook was great, man. Until he got his both orbital sockets broken. I think his pride.
Is that against
told
Triple
him-
G?
Well, first Triple G broke his out one side of his face, and then Errol Spence broke the other side of his face.
What?
And he was never the same after that.
No, you ain't
And
gotta
what he
tell
got
me,
from
man.
Crawford was no good, you know.
He hit
Fell
him with such a
asleep.
short, like, jab, and
Yeah, but Triple G broke this side, and then Errol broke the other side. So obviously there's something going on there. So, but he was fun to watch. Big as hell to make that weight too. How he's making 147. Until Errol was like, when Errol finally got a chance to fight him, he goes, "Yeah, you're fighting somebody just as big as you, finally, right? None of these small guys." And he was like, "Okay." He's make sure you make the weight. He's like, "Well, you make the weight."
right? Or you make it
You know?
first.
So yeah, I think he was a good fighter, very good fighter, and I'm glad that he went out on top.
He went out on a dominant performance. That's the way to go.
And even better, that
gets
a
your
guy
rival,
cheats.
yeah.
A guy cheats. You don't know he cheats, and you still beat his ass.
Yep. Beat
Shout out
his
to
ass.
you, Amir
for
Khan.
you.
You should be embarrassed.
Yep.
And maybe you remember me in 2010, buddy.
Ooh.
But-
You have a Amir Khan story?
I met Amir Khan in San Francisco. So we were in San Francisco, and I think we were at not the Wild Card gym. There was another gym that we went to, and he was there, and I got a chance to meet him.
How was he?
It's okay, kind of arrogant a little bit.
Yeah.
He pulled up in a crazy ass exotic car. I was trying to get 2 rounds with him, but he was, he wanted he had specific sparring partners that he had, I guess, flew in from his country or whatever, so he's paying them. But I was trying to get 2 rounds.
I don't know if he would have survived
I
getting
would've.
hit by you. No,
No,
him.
yeah. I just said 2 rounds.
What is that? You would have dogged his
I
ass.
said, let me go. If you go in 10, let me go 9 and 10.
Yes. And let me get the camera out, too.
So you mentioned that Kell Brook got his orbital bone smashed in, both sides. I have a story from when I used to fight. Semifinals of the Golden Gloves, 2006 in New York. I was 17 years old. I was going in at 201, and I fought a guy named Roberto Morban. And this guy beat the fucking shit out of me.
But he had fights.
Oh yeah, many. He was in, I think, like maybe I'd won like the last 2 or 3 Golden Gloves. He'd been in there.
You think he was open fighter?
I don't know. I was 17 and he was 26.
Did you have any fights prior? Or that
No.
was your first fight?
But I went in the open class.
Yeah.
So
Shame.
like a dumb ballsy motherfucker.
Did somebody tell you not to?
Nope. Nope.
Shame on whoever was running. Shame on them.
So
Bro.
he went in there though, but listen, I didn't really leave my trainer much of a choice. He kind of just went along with me to like make sure I didn't get killed. But this guy broke my orbital and my nose in less than 1 round. And I won't get into specifics. It was quite embarrassing. It was how I got the nickname Superman. was because he called me Superman after the fight because he was like, I don't know what I had to do. I got like 3 standing 8 counts.
He died and came back?
No, I got 3 standing 8 counts and he couldn't knock me down. He's just like, I don't know what I had to do. The ref stopped the fight because my eye was completely shut. So they stop fights fast in the amateurs, but I'm glad that they did because this guy probably would have killed me. And
what's his name?
Roberto Morban.
Get the gun.
You watching this? Give him 6 months to get ready for you. Run that shit back.
Yeah.
I'll never forget too. The next day, in the New York Times.
Run that shit back.
No, in the Daily News, the headline was.
What weight?
201.
Tell him no. What weight you want to run it back at?
250.
Just run it back at.
God damn.
Just run it back at 201.
Let's run it back at 201. I'm ready.
6 months.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
Fuck it.
If you're there, I'm ready.
Yeah.
The headline was Morban rolls away stone. I'll never forget that headline. So
That's a nice headline.
The Daily News, Golden Gloves. And he was from Brownsville too. Like I was totally like, we were taking bets on what block we were going to get robbed on our way to the fight. So a week later, I go to the doctor. The doctor tells me that the orbital bone's broken. A few days later, my grandmother insists that my mother take me to her best friend Trudy. My family is hardcore Roman Catholic, and Trudy was supposedly a faith healer. And I'm not saying supposedly, she was. And direct connection to the Holy Spirit type of thing, speaking in tongues, this whole thing. My mother takes me to her. She sits there, she prays over me, and she goes into this like trance where she starts speaking in languages that she couldn't possibly know because they're dead. And within an hour or so, my eye opened up. And she told me afterwards to go back to the doctor and get another x-ray. And I went back to the doctor and got an x-ray, and there was no fractures on my face.
How long after?
Like a few days after the first x-ray.
Insane. That's just
So,
real.
I know we're going to get flack for this. We're going to get a bunch of people out there.
After that happened, I was watching The Exorcist.
And I know that Oso might not believe it too, but it happened. And it was some scary stuff. Like this woman supposedly performed an exorcist on my uncle, like a couple things like so. There's documented stuff.
One of the things about me is that I never want to discredit someone's experience. So your experience is your experience. Though I might feel a certain way, I would never tell you, hey, that's bullshit. I might think what I want to think about it, but that's me. And I think that that's not how everyone should be. I can't tell people how to be, but I think that humanity would get further in our progression, speaking with other humans if we went about it that way, because the idea of you, oh, that's bullshit, that's fake, that's not real. It puts you in a combative state where, wait, I believe in that. Why are you saying that? You know what I mean?
I thought it was bullshit myself, to be honest with you. So I don't blame you for thinking that if you did. But
I think it's bullshit. No, I'm fucking around. I think the world's so crazy and shit happens that you don't ever think. Like the world is fucking crazy. I wouldn't put it past anybody that they could do that shit. How the fuck did they build the pyramids? We don't know.
Aliens.
Aliens. I'm hearing other things that they had fucking people with the church or the gods or whatever doing sounds to import. I don't know. It's crazy. I know I sound crazy. I didn't smoke weed.
I mean, well, listen,
but it's true.
I don't know what's happening anymore here in this podcast. But
all right, let's steer it back to boxing. All right, let's get back into some headlines this week before we wrap it up with the weekend's fights. Shakur, that's coming up this weekend.
Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
We got what's his name?
Shakur, let's talk about Shakur real quick.
All right, I mean that's coming up this weekend. That's one of the fights we're going to wrap up with.
Keyshawn Davis too.
Keyshawn Davis.
Fight. Did you see the press conference with his opponent?
I didn't see the press conference.
They said 3 rounds or something.
No, so they were like sitting on the opposite ends and they're talking with the camps and Keyshawn talking about, this guy, he's game. I know he comes to fight, but I'm gonna get him out of there in like 3 rounds. And the dude on the other end was like, really, man? 3 rounds is all you're giving me? And he was on the other end. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I know you come to fight, but he's like, come on, dude, really? He's like, all right, maybe like 5 or 6.
And he's like, okay.
And he was like, all right. And then he looks across at Keyshawn's like, this nigga just said all right. He's so laughing at each other. But it was cool. You can see like he's like, we gotta sell a fight. He said it to him. He's like, really, man? 3 rounds? And Keyshawn's response was, man, we gotta sell the fight. So you see, they was clearly like messing with each other, but it was fun to see them go down that route.
So I seen Keyshawn, I seen Shakur, and I seen Big Jared. What's his name?
Jared Anderson's on the
they
card
were
too.
in a video. They're out of the Top Rank facility.
I think they're staple mates.
Yeah, and they're all training together. Seems like a really good environment.
Yeah.
Shakur was sparring Jared. Now, I don't know how serious it was, but they were there. I think Shakur has a chance to show at this new weight class, and I think he's going to go up in weight even after this. I'd say in the next couple of years, but he's got a good chance to show good and call out a big name after this.
I don't know much about Yoshino. I don't know a lot about his opponent.
Yeah, he seems to be a killer from all the videos and how they're selling the fight. A lot of knockouts. I don't know, does Teofimo have a fight anytime soon?
He's fighting Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
For the WBO title.
Okay. So maybe that's
140.
maybe that winner.
For Shakur?
Yeah.
A 140?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is for 135, but Shakur looks small at 135, man.
Right now he looks good. I think he looked better, so a little bit bigger. But he's never fought 135. It's the first time.
It's true. Jared Anderson finally going to step up, fight George Arias. That's a good competition because he's been fighting Bum of the Month Club for a little bit.
Why he don't fight Frankie Sanchez?
I'm saying, man.
I don't think he's ready for that yet. I don't know if I don't think he beats Frank Sanchez, to be honest with you. Not at this point.
I'll put money on Jared.
What about
bet.
What about F.A. Jabba?
A fat joint.
What about F.A. Jabba?
Jordan money.
Yeah.
What about F.A.?
F.A. lost to Frank Sanchez.
No, F.A. Jabba versus Jared.
They actually were stablemates, though.
That shit's over with.
Yeah. But they used to train together.
What about Smooth Baco?
Smooth Baco?
Against Jared Anderson?
We like 4 years, baby.
Snap.
4 years.
4 years, you got 2, bro.
I don't know,
you got 24 months.
Get the juice.
I think it's time for F.A. Jabba to step up his game, though, too. We were talking about that. I mean, it's time now. Let's start seeing you against some top 10 guys.
You know, what's happening with these heavyweights, a lot of them, if you look at them, they're going to this type of boxing where it's more of a defensive boxing.
Yeah, because they want to get hit.
Versus, just your natural style with defense, implemented. It's just like defense.
It's nice to see
from the
them.
heavyweights,
Yes, it does, because as much as it's nice to see heavyweights now coming in shape and boxing, I also kind of miss guys like Trevor Bryan, just like kind of going in, two big burly dudes beating the shit out of each other.
I like watching the heavyweight, Andy the Destroyer.
Yeah.
He is so skilled, so fast. He
But it
doesn't
comes to
even
get you
make
out of it.
sense. Yeah, and the way he moves, you know what I mean. So like, I like that, and he can use defense when he wants to, But the idea of being F.A. Jabba is also another 6'5", 6'6", 7,
212,
whatever, right? And coming out, and the first thing you do is step to the front and get in your defense. Not even a big jab, and then come back, check.
Deontay Wilder would fucking destroy him.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Frank Sanchez destroyed him. It wasn't even close, right?
He beat him. I think maybe I gave a jab of 1 round.
Yeah.
I think it went 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Or 8 or something like
Frank
that.
Sanchez's last fight was against Carlos Negron, I think.
Frank Sanchez is mean.
Yeah, and he knows how to box.
Is he 6'4"?
Yeah. How many fights Jared got?
Jared, I think 11 or 12.
15.
There's somebody else on
Frank and Jared.
No. There's somebody else on the way. If he can get enough wins in the next year and a half, by the name of Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lorenzo Medina, man.
Right? Yeah, for sure. 6-0 right now.
Lorenzo Medina is a star in the making for sure. Future heavyweight champion. Shout out to Lorenzo. We love you, man, from South Florida. Yeah, killing
If he
it.
can get to 10-0, he start making some noise. Just start looking for him.
Jared Anderson, Lorenzo. Wow.
Jared Anderson's 13-0, 13 knockouts at 6'4". I don't know. Lorenzo might give him a run for his money. I think Lorenzo's better than anybody else he fought so far. I think they're moving him up though with guys with good records over the last 2 years. Only fighting guys with a couple losses. Now he's fighting another undefeated.
Total bullshit.
No, it's not total bullshit. It's definitely definitely better than what they're doing with the other guy, Richard Torres.
But this is perfect though. He's at the point now where it's time to show up.
Yeah. What about this guy? What about Jordan?
Well, I mean, look, the record tells you what you need to know. This is a good on-paper fight for Jared Anderson. He's 18-0, 7 knockouts. So it's a safe fight.
Safe fight, yeah.
So yeah, there may be moments in this fight where he gets outboxed with this guy at 5'11", who he's going to fight.
There's a San Francisco in the Dominican Republic. Wow.
That's not the same thing? Isn't that why San Francisco is named San Francisco?
San Francisco means an old Spanish ship. You didn't watch Anchorman?
It's San Diego.
Oh, San Diego.
Yes, it's actually a whale's vagina.
Yes.
Yes,
There
pretty
it
sure
is.
that's what it means. Did you know that?
No.
San Diego means a whale's vagina.
California's fucked up, so I would believe it. Yeah.
I also have
Fuck that
many
place.
leather-bound books.
I would never go to California.
Many leather-bound books.
not even if you paid us to
homeless, go to California.
Yeah, definitely, it's a great place to be. Just
You want shit on the street?
get
go
the
to
fuck out of
California.
Florida, by the way.
Jesus, if you don't want any money and you
Wow.
just want to spend
Go ahead and delete all that.
go to California. Jesus Christ.
He thinks that we edit things. We don't. It's raw and unfiltered. It says it on the Instagram. Raw and unfiltered
Holy
boxing
crap.
Raw
podcast.
Dog City, baby.
Raw Dog City.
That's a different podcast. I'm not on that.
James Plan B Baco.
Wow! Oh my god!
Nickname.
Wow. Put it up there. James the Raw Dog.
James Raw Dog City Plan B, big spoon.
All right, so
Big disgusting.
we are now Alex Superman Stone, Oscar the Oso Galone, and James Raw Dog Baco.
Or Plan B, whatever day it is. Weekend is Plan B.
Raw Dog,
Weekend
you're
is
into the
Raw
Plan
Dog.
B. All right, great. Fantastic. Hope my daughters never watch this show. Fuck.
Oh, well, my family-
All right, so real quick. So Daniel Dubois, or as James likes to call him, Daniel Dubois.
Is that how you say it?
Dubois.
It's Dubois? He's French? I don't like French
The
people.
name is French, I would assume.
So,
maybe
take that back,
Creole.
bro.
Dubois.
I don't eat snails. Dubois.
Dubois. So he's going to be fighting Usyk.
That's
Your boy Usyk, come on, you said no one wants to see that happen.
That's
It's
not
happening.
happening.
It is
No, it's
happening.
not.
It's confirmed.
Well, who?
The WBA ordered it by
The
May
Ukrainian
2nd.
president who's fucking lying and stealing money anyway?
No,
Where are we
it's
hearing this from?
WBA ordered it.
They also ordered Terrence Crawford and
Yeah, but
Spence
the
8 months
deadline's
ago.
May 2nd, and it's going to go to a purse bid, which someone's going to buy. Usyk's going to... Listen, Tim
Wait a minute, the
Whitbank,
same
$5
thing
don't
about
happen.
where? Who?
WBA,
Oh, okay.
$5 it don't happen.
belts.
I got $5 it don't happen.
$5?
Just a little friendly, bro.
I'll bet you 10.
No, you can't do it. How are you gonna change the amount of shake?
I bet you a lap dance.
Scale.
A lap dance at school.
10, and you were shaking when he said 10. It's 10.
I bet you a lap dance. Done. Lap dance at scores.
I'm outta here.
This fight's gonna happen.
I'm out of here.
I get to pick the girl.
Oh God. Well, the score is not that good.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding,
I don't know
man.
what's
I think
happening.
Usyk lashes out at Fury. Says he wants to copy Muhammad Ali, but it's been a bad copy.
Shut up.
So he's saying, wait, Usyk saying Fury wants to copy Ali?
No, saying like he's trying to act like Muhammad Ali, acting like he's the big draw and he should get 70-30 in the rematch and everything. And he said, I'm not about that. I don't have to yell at you and tell you I'm the king. The king doesn't have to scream to prove his point.
Just make the fucking.
Usyk, breaking news, buddy. You don't beat Fury.
No.
You don't beat Fury. Take the 30. Shut the hell up. It's more money than you probably ever made before. Because the purse bid is going to be enormous. It's probably going to be in where? Dubai?
Or in England, one of the two.
So let's say it's Dubai.
can't be US.
Let's say it's Dubai or England. It's 90,000
Tyson's
people.
not allowed.
90,000 people.
It wouldn't be anyway, though.
So, yeah. That 30% is probably more than he's received on his regular purses.
But he wants it to be 70-30. Usyk gets 70 if it's a rematch and he won.
No, Usyk wants 50-50. If Usyk
And I'm okay with
loses
that
and,
too.
and there's a rematch, he wants it to be a 50-50 in the rematch.
Wait, you mean if Fury loses, Usyk wants it 50-50?
Usyk wanted a automatic rematch clause if he lost, just like Fury would have too, and Fury agreed to it. And then I guess where the split happened was that if there was a rematch, Usyk wanted 50-50 in the rematch for the split.
Oh, instead of
And
just
that's where
30%,
talks fell
yeah.
apart.
And also if Fury really wanted to fight, this would be a 55-45 and this fight would be done.
Yeah.
I think Usyk loses to Fury, and then I think he loses again in the rematch, and then I think we get Usyk Wilder, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't see Usyk.
Are we getting the red light? It's coming to cut the cord.
No.
All right. I think we kind of hit all the topics for kind of breaking news snippets. So I think should we wrap it up? Go into the boxing schedule this weekend.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's chat about it. Boxing schedule. I'll pull it up. We're going off the ESPN boxing schedule tonight. I don't have enough time to vet Boxing Rec for an hour and a half.
Fucking virus.
I know, right? With all the viruses. And yes, guess what? We're still continuing not supporting you.
Yeah.
So we got
Get my
Shakur.
face right in the box right.
Right, man. Oh, yeah.
Retards.
What's up with that? You never got that figured out?
No, I'm not Mexican and I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't.
You're
start-
right.
What? He's not Mexican?
That he is. Wait, he's
I
not.
said he's not Mexican.
Okay.
I did.
He's not Mexican?
The whole.
Look at the flag. That's Puerto Rico, bro.
It looks like America.
That does look like America.
Who are these guys?
That does look like America. Wow, they stole our shit.
Fuck.
Anyway, that's a whole other discussion.
All right, so I mean, we kind of talked about the newer card already. We got Shakur versus Yoshino, Jared Anderson versus Arias, Keyshawn fighting on that card. There's actually a lot of different fights on. You have Inoue's brothers fighting on ESPN. If you're up, you're gonna have to catch this at 3 a.m. By the way,
If you're on Saturday, watch this fight.
because they're doing it in Japan time. So Kenishiro Tajiri is fighting.
Delete that too.
What?
Fucking smooth, bro.
What do you do?
He said if you're on meth, watch that fight.
3 a.m. prime time.
It's a pretty accurate statement. What's the
I
problem?
only spit facts. Sorry.
I'm sick of both of you.
Just want to go to
This
sleep.
is the second podcast. I'm sick of both of you.
No, well, listen. I think there's actually this is actually the third episode, but it's only the second one that people see.
So the first one I wasn't sick of you. The last two I am.
Wow, you don't like us anymore. Sorry, should we sub them out? We gotta find somewhere else to do this podcast. Fuck. So you got Tajiri versus, how did I say that last name? Olashwaga.
Wow.
Olashwaga.
Okeechobee.
Wait.
That's racist.
No, it's a street.
It's a WBC and WBA junior flyweight title on the line.
Olashwaga.
Olashwaga. Aren't you Spanish too?
Is that
Yeah.
peso de mosca?
Terrible. Ayahuasca?
Wow.
Wow. Ayahuasca.
This guy knows no Spanish.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled. Kiko Martinez is making his comeback on that fight. This guy just won't stop fighting. He stays busy at 47 years old.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Kiko?
Yeah.
Kiko Martinez is the little bald Spanish featherweight guy. He just
I
lost
don't
his
know.
title to Warrington.
No clue.
He was ranked above Dog Bay in Boxing's rankings. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then this is the one I really want to see.
Raymond Ford is fire.
Yeah, Raymond Ford is fire,
fire.
but not quite as fire as the guy who's going to be on the main card, which is Bam Bam
Yeah.
Rodriguez, baby.
Yeah.
He's
Bam
fighting
Bam
Christian Gonzalez for the vacant WBO flyweight title, so he's moving up in weight. That's going to be interesting.
Moving up in weight and fighting at flyweight.
Yeah.
What is that? You moving up?
What is the weight before
120?
flyweight?
Floorweight,
Bantam? Super bantam?
junior flyweight.
Jeez.
So, yeah, he's light. He's like 110 pounds, 112 pounds. They're light guys.
What
Yeah.
the hell, man?
Like one of my legs
Yeah.
as a person. You know?
That's crazy.
One of your nuts.
I was like first grade. I was 100 pounds.
I'm sick of both.
I think we're both just sitting here because I think everyone's trying to figure out who's going to take the next title fight on this card. I think we're going to give this one to James. James, why don't you go ahead and let people know who's fighting?
We got.
Under Bam Rodriguez.
We got. We got Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
No, we already talked about that.
Okay, we got. Oh my God, because the names are hard. Fuck. Title fight. We got Murrow John versus Akmaladiliv.
No, that's his last name, not versus.
That's his last name. I'm assuming.
That's a lot of fucking
versus Marlon Tapalas. Tapilas.
Marlon Tapales.
So we got a Muslim versus a Mexican.
Why are you assuming that he's Mexican? Because his last name's Tamales?
Tamales.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's not tamales.
I like tamales. I
Shit.
think we all like tamales.
I'm
here.
half Spanish guy, so I can generalize. I just want
It's
to put
true.
that out there.
I'm Spanish by marriage.
Fucking delete this whole thing.
No, we're going to stay with the slight racism that we're going in with right now. Let's continue.
Under that, Raymond Ford.
Raymond Ford, you're
fire. But he trains alongside who? Fuck, I can't fucking think of it. But he's fire. I don't know if it's Shakur or something. I can't think of the name. Against Jesse Magdaleno. Featherweight? Wow.
Yep.
What's that again?
I almost thought that was Joselito
Featherweight is
Lopez.
126.
Jesus Christ.
Fundora's fighting on
Fundora's
Showtime
wow.
Championship Boxing. Which,
Jesse Brandon Lee?
Yep, that's what I said. This is a good card right here.
That's interesting. 6'5" and fights at 147 or 154.
Oh, the heavyweight Chris Arreola is fighting too.
Listen,
Chris Arreola.
look who else is on this card.
Frank Sanchez. Oh.
Devin Alexander.
So we got Devin Alexander and Chris Arreola on this card. This is like 2008.
Somebody dig up Juan Arango.
That's what I mean, man.
Add him to the card.
So you got Sebastian Fundora, who I think is exciting to watch. Because what is he, about 6'3", 6'4", 154 pounds?
Yeah.
I think he's 6'5".
He's like Paul Williams, essentially,
Yeah.
as far as his build and the way he fights. And he's going against Brian Mendoza. Fundora has an interim junior middleweight title, the WBC title, which, let's be real, that's Charlo's belt, the WBC.
But he has the interim.
Which means that eventually he's in line for a shot at
Yeah,
Charlo.
but he earned that interim belt because he beat Hammer
Yeah.
Lubin.
Yep.
And
That was his last fight.
both his orbital sockets and his jaw,
Masterful performance.
which is crazy. If you Google that picture, Lubin boxer face, it's absolutely terrifying.
Well, I know we keep kicking around the junior welterweight division. I mean, the junior welterweight division. We're talking about Shakur. We're talking about Josh Taylor. We're talking about Teofimo. Brandon Lee's coming back on the Showtime card too.
Brandon Lee, I like him. Is that Luis Nunez who fought Tank Nunez from Panama?
Featherweights could be at 126. Yeah, probably in a 10 round. This is a stacked card.
Brandon Lee's fighting Teofimo's last opponent.
Yeah.
Pedro Campbell. Okay.
Yep.
That'd be a pretty good test for him because he fights Tomato
I
Camp.
can't believe we're seeing Chris
He got knocked
Arreola.
down his last fight.
Yeah, he did, right?
Brandon Lee.
Chris Arreola, man, that's a throwback. That's a big throwback. Remember when he was a threat for like 10 minutes?
He actually did well against Andy the Destroyer. Knocked Andy down and they gave him the fight. He knocked Andy down twice.
I mean, Chris can punch. That was always been his thing.
Yeah.
They gave him a 78 rating in Fight Night champion. I feel like he deserved better.
82, 83, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Is there
right?
a bigger nose in boxing than Chris Arreola?
Oh my God.
Peter Manfredo Jr.
It's just like this. Look.
Well, Peter's is flatter.
Shit.
Chris's is bigger. Hasn't been punched in as many times
Just like
yet.
a toddler sneaker on his face.
So, Devin Alexander, though, we mentioned that, and I think the guy he's fighting that's kind of
I like you, Chris. So if I see you at the Hard Rock again.
So Devin Alexander, named from, 15 years ago that was big, is coming back now. He's in his late 30s, and he's fighting a guy named Gabriel Mastre. And I think that this fight is interesting because Devin Alexander was a welterweight champion in the early 2000s. He's 27-7-1 with 14 knockouts. He is, I would have to guess, it doesn't say his age on here. Devin
I
Alexander.
think so, yeah.
He's got to be in his 40s, right?
41.
1987, so it's 35 actually. Damn, he's young.
Whoa.
Young-ish.
Wow, he is young.
Damn, so when we were watching him fight, he was like a teenager almost.
Yep.
Wow.
Wait.
Okay.
How old's Bernard Hopkins?
Bernard Hopkins.
78.
No, he's
Damn near looks like his son.
No, he's close to. It could be his son. Damn. Wow.
Is that fucking Bernard Hopkins' son without a
Wow. Private Eye. Raw Dog Plan B. Baco.
Seriously, that's Bernard Hopkins' son.
Looks nothing like him.
Oh.
I got glasses for a reason.
Clean them shits.
There.
All right. So
You need goggles.
real quick, something I want to talk to you about. You're gonna find this entertaining too. All right. So the guy who Devin Alexander's fighting is named Gabriel Mastre. He's going to be the A side of this fight. He's
Of course,
four.
look at the last. Scroll down this fight real quick.
Which one? On this?
Lost.
Yeah, lost. Yeah, it's been a minute.
What's the problem?
I mean, oh God, he got.
Look at this guy. He looks like a janitor.
All right,
He looks like a sous chef.
all right, but here's the funny thing about him. He was on.
How old is he?
He's also. I don't know.
He
He's
looks
old,
50.
He's like 36 too.
This
So-
is a lie.
It's
Where's
not
he
a
from?
lie. It's not. He's from Venezuela.
Colombia.
He's from Venezuela though originally, and he fights out of Colombia. So it's not a lie. Okay. This was a two-time Olympian for the Venezuelan team. Last two Olympics he was in. Okay, he's now in his mid to late 30s.
Dog,
And-
that man is 52 years old.
In his first fight, he knocked out a guy who was 20-0.
In his own country.
Yeah, and then went on from there.
This is a weird boxer, right?
That's
This-
like me only fighting out of the gym here and never going anywhere.
All right, so but that's what I'm saying. The career projection of this guy is interesting. Some clearly protected fights over in Colombia. Then he gets to the United States at the Armory in Minneapolis. He fights Michael Fox, 22-2 fighter for the WBA interim world welterweight title. Okay, he gets knocked down in the second round by Fox, and from all the accounts that I haven't been able to find the fight. I haven't had time to sit down and look at it and watch it. But from all accounts from what I read, he got his head boxed off by Michael Fox for 12 rounds and then was given a decision.
But
That
dog, he's
was
fighting Devin Alexander, who's 27-7.
Right.
And he has 5 fights.
5 fights now. But he's an Olympian. Two-time Olympian. So I guess, and also comes from a country, Venezuela. So the reason that he moved to Colombia was Venezuela is a socialist country. Same type of thing. Can't turn professional.
So all that means to me is I don't know how old he is in real life.
No, I don't think he knows how old he is either, but I couldn't believe it. So when I looked him up,
King Kong Ortiz said he was 40.
Yeah, same Dr. Ortiz had when he was born.
so they actually, Devin Alexander's the younger guy.
Hold on a second, bro. How old does he say he is?
36.
That's a lie.
Take it.
He was born.
You need to. They need to see this picture. Turn this around real quick. We have some audience. Does this guy look 36, ladies?
No.
36 years old. He is 57 years old.
He's the son of El Duque.
That's a 60-year-old.
So I don't know. Tune in. I don't even know if they're gonna put that on television. To be honest with you, it might happen. But this is fucking bizarre, man.
If you have a PlayStation, it'll be on there.
Interesting card, man, with these guys that are fighting.
Nintendo DS.
Nintendo 64.
It'll be on there.
Yeah, something like that. We got Chris
Devin
Ariola.
Alexander, bro, he was a monster.
Devin Alexander, Chris Ariola, both coming back. I hope Showtime puts all these guys on the card. Like, I want to see all these fights.
Ariola, I hope you win.
Me too. Always love Chris Ariola. Fucking Mexican warrior, man. Absolute.
Yeah.
So I think that wraps it up for this week, guys. Good fights this weekend. You want to do any predictions?
Okay, I got 3 predictions. I got Shakur Stevenson decision. I got Jared Anderson knockout 5th round, and I got Keyshawn Davis knockout 3 rounds.
I got Shakur decision. He'll surprise me if he knocks him out. If he knocks him out, I think it'll be before 8. I don't think that, since he doesn't have much power, he's not going to carry late.
In the last 4, yeah.
Right, so maybe 8. I think Brandon Lee wins for sure. I think he wins by knockout. I also think that, I'm hoping Chris Ariola pulls this out. He's a good dude. Yeah, those are my 3.
I'm not going to predict the fight where I can't pronounce anybody's name. Sorry about that. I think Bam Rodriguez is taking out Gonzalez by knockout. I think Shakur, late round TKO against Yoshino. Let's see what else we got coming up over here. I'm not going to predict those fights. I think Jared and Keyshawn are definitely going to win. And I would say I think Fundora is going to beat Brian Mendoza. I would say by unanimous decision. One of those fights where Fundora throws a bunch of punches. And I think I agree with you. And I think Devin Alexander puts away the 50-year-old janitor from Venezuela.
I hope so.
That's my predictions.
I hope so. And I'm gonna go. And one wild prediction is that Jared wins 2nd round TKO. Only goes 2 rounds.
You know, we're talking about records and stuff. The way that they're bringing up Jared Anderson, put him in against Chris Ariola next. At least I know that there's a chance that Jared gets knocked out.
Luis Ortiz. Somebody go wake him up.
I know Luis didn't look like he had the power anymore in his last fight.
Who did he beat?
He lost.
He lost. Yeah, he lost.
He fought after he won.
I don't think so.
Did he?
Yes.
Chuck.
There we go. I guess we're not done
watched
yet.
King Kong.
Luis Ortiz.
Out of
Where are
Pembroke
you?
Pines.
Very true. King Kong's gym. We'll be seeing him soon.
Not too far from here.
No, not at all. Right down the street from us. No, his last fight was against Randy Ruiz. Charles Martin was the fight where he was the one before that. Okay. And that was impressive. But yeah, with Ruiz, I don't know, he didn't look like he had it. He couldn't hurt Andy.
Right. It was a little bit. What's his record right now?
You're talking about King Kong?
Yeah, King Kong.
33-3, he's still there.
Yeah.
Supposedly 44 years old. But honestly, even getting knocked down twice, I mean, if you look at the scorecards, if you take away the 2 knockdowns, he wins on one scorecard, 115, 113, and 3 knockdowns. So you take away the 3 points, it's a draw on 2 cards. He wins. That's a draw if he doesn't get knocked down twice in that fight. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe they run that back again. I'm down to see that.
I want to fight somebody slower. I like Ortiz. I want him to win. Andy Ruiz is deceptive and his speed doesn't match his body. So I think all these heavyweights are in for a ride with him. So.
All right. Well, I think that's episode 3.
King Kong versus Ariola.
Ooh, King Kong versus Ariola.
Ariola win this and then King Kong versus you.
Yeah, I mean that's
a good
interesting.
Fight.
Hell yeah, that's a good fight. I think King Kong wins though. I think he's still too quick for him.
Or F.A. Java or Frank
Yeah.
Sanchez, one of these guys.
A Jabba versus Areola. That's an explosive fight.
Yeah.
Still not as good a fight though as Beterbiev versus Benavidez. The best fight in boxing. I want to see it.
For sure.
Give me Beterbiev versus.
Canelo's training, so he's fighting soon. We'll be talking about Ryan's fight coming up. I shouldn't say Ryan's fight. I should be talking about. We'll talk about Tank's fight
coming up.
with Ryan.
Yes.
Yeah. So next episode.
Well, on the 15th, you got the big fight coming up. We'll talk about Joe Joyce, your boy.
I like
Next.
Joe. Awkward Joe.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in with us. If you obviously you like our content, maybe you hate us, it's fine too. You can block us. But if you like our content, like and subscribe. Uppercut City. It's James Big Smooth Baco, Oscar the Oso Cologne, Alex Superman Stone. This is Uppercut City.